In the late 1800s, a supernatural event struck the home of 6-year-old Robert Otto in Key West, Florida. Otto, the son of wealthy business owners, was considered a nuisance to the family's servants. One of those servants who practiced black magic cursed a doll and gave it to Robert, claiming if he did not take care of it, the doll would haunt his mother for the rest of her life. Robert took to the doll as though it were his own brother, eventually becoming inseparable for fear of what it could do to his family. While Otto's mother claimed the curse absurd, the other servants of the household claimed the doll was bewitching Robert. On a chilly, stormy evening, a butler found Robert hanging upside down from a rafter reciting a demonic chant with his eyes closed. On the floor below, the doll watched, lying on its back. The butler pulled Robert down from the rafter, but upon getting closer noticed Robert's mouth was not open, and he could not have been doing the chanting. The next few months saw more instances of the doll moving and speaking on its own. With Robert growing so terrified of it, he attempted to bury it in the backyard. The doll now sits in a museum in Key West, and will curse anyone who photographs it without its permission. Made famous from James Wan's 2013 film The Conjuring, and a film of her own, perhaps no haunted toy is as well known as Annabelle. Discovered in a local thrift shop, the doll was purchased and given to a college-age woman named Donna and her roommate, who soon became witness to unexplainable events. They would often come home and find the doll had moved rooms, and soon they discovered childlike writings being scrawled all over the walls. After taking it to a psychic, they were told the doll was possessed by a dead girl named Annabelle, and the girl wished to be friends with Donna. Seeing nothing wrong with this, the girl kept Annabelle in the apartment until she viciously attacked one of her friends. Famed ghost hunters Ed and Lorraine Warren investigated the doll and discovered it was actually possessed by a demon, which sought to grow in power and possess a human next. The Warrens took the doll home with them and locked it in their museum. Australian Kerry Walton was determined not to let a childhood fear ruin his life. As an adult, he returned to the house that terrified him as a kid and found a marionette doll trapped under the porch. He took it home and began experiencing terrifying events. At night, he would wake up to hear whispering right next to his ear, but nothing was ever close by. He soon suspected the doll to be the origin of the voice and attempted to lock it up one night. But as Walton attempted to sleep, he heard wild banging and the demonic screaming of the doll shouting, "Let me out!" The doll is believed to be the product of a Romanian gypsy 200 years before Walton discovered it, and the toy's real human hair is thought to be the reason the doll is possessed. A popular folk legend that surrounds the state of Kentucky is that of the Lucky Dream doll. An 8-year-old girl named Angie Mays stumbled upon an old graveyard with 9 hidden tombstones in the woods just beyond her family's farm. Her father told her the graves likely belonged to children of a family who died years earlier, as the graves were too close together to belong to adults. That night, Angie was visited by a spirit named Lucky in her dreams. Lucky told her to make a doll for each dead child so they could finally be at peace. The following week, Angie attempted to make a doll for the first dead child out of some of her own baby clothes. Before finishing the other 8 dolls, however, the Mays family began witnessing strange events. They would catch the shadow of the doll moving when the doll didn't, and found strange messages written on the kitchen table every morning. A horrifying discovery, because Angie herself and her mother could not read or write. Angie's father forced her to destroy the doll, and upon its burning, they heard demonic shrieking. Legend has it that the demon known as Luck travels from dream to dream, trying to convince children to make a doll for it to manipulate so it can eventually possess the child's body. A more modern haunting comes from Galveston, Texas, where a woman named Carol gave in to her own curiosities and purchased a haunted voodoo doll from eBay. She soon found herself the owner of a violent, attacking, and demonic possession that she attempted to destroy numerous times. But after failing at burning, shredding, and burying it, she learned the only way to get rid of it would be for someone else to willingly take it. Carol put it back online for new buyers, and the doll was sold, packaged, and delivered 3 times. But every time the new buyer received the package, they would find they were only sent an empty box. The doll would appear in Carol's bed, night after night, even after she had sent it through the mail. She finally ridded herself of the nightmare by giving it to a paranormal investigator, who still owns the zombie voodoo doll to this day.